It is so dark, like...
The first video tonight comes from Upside Down Land Paranormal, an Australian-based investigation channel known for calm, real-time night explorations in remote bushland, abandoned railway sites, and historically active locations. It is December 3rd, 2025, in Swan View Tunnel and Swan View Station, Western Australia, Australia.
That goes off. I'm gonna freak out again. Never used one before, so I gotta be careful with how I'm moving it, because if you bump it, it can go off. Phones, if it's right up against a phone, it can go off. So I do have my phone in my pocket, so I'm gonna try and keep it away from that pocket, and away from the cameras. But we shall see. Right. If there is anyone here, we come with the utmost respect. We're new at this. We would like to see if anyone wants to communicate with us. Let us know that you're here. Please be kind so I don't freak out and run. And yeah.
We saw that you were pushing on that green light that we have just in Amanda's hand. If you could promise to do that again, like you did before. Please do it again.
Now, I was getting it when I was standing facing this way, and then as I kind of started walking out of the end of the tunnel. So, should we try that again?
Yeah, we'll bring it back over.
The team move calmly through the tunnel approach, scanning the ground and surrounding walls with handheld lights. Small, distant noises echo between the concrete and rock, giving the location a hollow, watchful atmosphere. Nothing directly appears, but the further they walk, the heavier the silence feels.
Okay, I'm not sure if...
A sharp disturbance occurs directly ahead of them, quick, distinct, and loud enough to stop them. They shine their lights forward, but nothing is visible, leaving only sound without explanation.
Being in a natural,
National park.
A second noise erupts behind them. It stops instantly when they turn, giving the impression of movement withdrawing into the darkness.
Can you light up the green light again if you're friendly? If you mean us no harm?
Heavier pacing sounds begin in the near distance. Something moves deliberately around them, too controlled to be wind or wildlife, yet no figure is visible.
It was spiking on red before. So I reckon what we'll do is we'll take a few more steps into the tunnel.
Yep, it did spike. Are you going to be right with that stuff?
Yeah, I'll be right there.
Okay, I'm taking the torch though.
Yeah, take the torch. That's fine. I think we'll just leave that as a beacon.
Alright,
The movement comes closer. The team stop talking altogether, listening as footsteps or shifting weight press into the gravel and ground behind the tunnel wall. Whatever is moving refuses to come into view.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so it's not Tommy.
It's not Tommy Bear.
It's someone else.
Yep. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Thank you.
Did you happen to pass away here? Did you die in the construction of this tunnel? I know there's not a lot of documented stuff about the
Documentation
construction.
about any deaths during the making of this tunnel.
But did you have any form of knowing that you're constructing on this tunnel and may have perished in the construction? If so, can you make that device light up?
We didn't explain this before, but as we're asking questions,
A final disturbance occurs, direct, intentional, and close enough to break the quiet again. They sweep lights over the terrain, but the source remains unseen. While no physical figure ever reveals itself, the pacing movements, abrupt noises, and way each sound reacts to their presence confirms that something was close throughout the investigation. Upside Down Land Paranormal remained composed, documenting each moment exactly as it happened. The experience ends unresolved, leaving viewers to question what was circling them just beyond their lights in the quiet of Swan View Tunnel. The next horrifying video comes from Haunted Finders, a UK-based paranormal investigation channel exploring haunted forests, abandoned buildings, and historically significant locations. Their approach pairs live, unscripted reactions with equipment-based monitoring, often attempting to connect activity to documented history or local folklore. It is February 28, 2021, in Shod Forest, Nottinghamshire, England.
I've been asking when are we going back there at night to see what we experience. Well, we've been waiting for some better weather, and luckily tonight we've got some, because we actually came here to investigate it last week, didn't we? But we pulled up outside the woods and
The team walk into Shod Forest after dark, moving slowly through dense woodland. Almost immediately, subtle shifting sounds come from the undergrowth, hinting at movement just beyond visibility. One investigator feels something rush past him, intensifying the sense that they are not alone. The silence between these noises is heavy and uneasy, amplified by occasional snaps deeper in the trees.
Did you hear something big just running there?
Yeah.
It ran from over there where those tree roots are, and then down to the left.
Run over there.
They activate the spirit box and environmental sensors. Footsteps begin pacing behind them, while a sudden floral potpourri-like scent drifts through the air. The device responds with words including smell, mummy, and she died, suggesting that whatever is present is aware of the investigators and reacting directly to them.
I heard a woman's voice. That sounded like
Attention focuses on a single investigator. Breathing sounds and deliberate footsteps occur directly behind him. A faint, unsettling laugh is heard from the tree line. Dark movement shifts between trees, never staying visible long enough to identify.
watching us.
You're walking around us. Tom, this is serious.
Smell.
Smell. Are you trying to make us smell something?
At the crooked tree locals refer to as the Devil's Tree, the activity intensifies. The name Matthew appears through the device, followed by conflicting responses that suggest more than one spirit, or something imitating human interaction. The team react to equipment fluctuations, but most of the experience remains auditory and atmospheric.
A potpourri smell, it just came all around me, like circled around my face.
Well, we can't prove that now, but
Well, no,
to
but
them,
it is.
but
We can't prove it, but it's there. That's like a, you know that potpourri you put in your house, like that you get bowls of it?
yeah.
That's what
Mummy.
Mummy.
What sort of mummy?
M-U-M-M-Y, mummy. Is it mummy like a child?
Wow. Yeah, it could be mummy, like a mummified body. Hope you don't start walking up with bandages on. So I'm off. Hey,
Someone just spoke then.
are you picking it all up? You got that mic?
Yeah.
Come close to us. Let me just explain to you that we mean you no harm.
That smell's still here.
I can smell it.
It's like all around in the air.
It's quite.
Movement continues to parallel their steps. Sudden bursts of scent, rustling, and pacing create the impression of being followed closely. The tone becomes tense, with investigators noting how often something seems to be just behind them, never showing itself fully.
Something behind me.
What's it for?
Something.
Final sounds of footsteps move around them again, marking the last clear sign of interaction before activity fades. The night leaves haunted finders with multiple unexplained responses. Footsteps that follow them, an identifiable scent, device-triggered names, and a distinct laugh from the trees. Nothing visual materializes, but the consistency and intelligence behind the sounds give a sense of territorial presence. The investigation highlights Shawd Forest as an active location, offering an experience shaped more by unseen movement and responses than visual confirmation. Sorry to interrupt the video, but if you're enjoying it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and right now, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Your support helps us continue creating awesome, creepy videos. Now, let's get back to the video. The next chilling video comes from The Bell Explorers, a UK-based paranormal channel focused on haunted forests, local folklore, and nighttime investigations. Their content captures real-time reactions rather than heavily produced edits, allowing the environment to create tension through genuine, unexplained moments. It is October 22nd, 2024, in Ham Street Woods, United Kingdom.
Right, guys, we're here to explore
Ham Street Woods.
Ham Street Woods. That's it. I'm ADHD and dyslexic, and I cannot get the words out my bloody mouth. But there we go. That, you know, we live and learn. We get on with it. We don't care. We get there. So Ham Street Woods, we're going to have a little explore. We've heard there's a few hauntings and stuff, but we don't know whether it's true or not. But we've come down to have a little look, and we'll see you in there. Right, guys, this is Ham Street Woods. Ooh, spooky. Look at that, there's the signs. Very nice. There's a little bridge there, it goes into someone's garden. Let's go, guys. An explore of Ham Street Woods. Someone's dog lead. Wow. Feels quite nice here, doesn't it? There, we've got the moon up there, guys. Beating through the trees. On a nice little trail. Oh, it's a bit skiddy. It's a bit skiddy. Footpath closed. Well, I don't think we're going up that footpath, so we're pretty good, I think. Very exciting stuff. God, this mud through here is terrible, isn't it? We've got over a bridge now. Very nice. Very posh. Oh, look at that up there.
The investigation begins along quiet woodland tracks. Moonlight reflects off the wet ground, and the woods feel unusually still. No wind, no distant voices, just the faint rustling of branches. The explorers comment on how isolated the area feels, gradually becoming aware of movement deeper in the tree line.
Do you feel like you're being watched?
Yeah, I was just going to say the same to you, to be fair. It just feels like there's eyes on us.
Well, I keep hearing like the odd rustle in the bushes here and there, and
Yeah.
I can't quite work it out. Guys, we seriously think we're being watched. We're absolutely crapping our pants at the moment. It just feels dreadful.
It definitely feels like we're being like followed or watched.
It does. And every so often we can...
I'm not sure if that's footsteps or rustling.
I keep hearing something behind us. Guys, I'm telling you now, we are being watched. We're hearing footsteps behind us and everything. I'm shitting my pants if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm not liking it.
While I'm here, guys, I'm a bit... don't want to stop too long, but look at those mushrooms. It's yeah, no, it's something don't feel quite right.
No.
And you got to go with your gut, really.
A clear rustling sound emerges behind them, accompanied by what seems like cautious footsteps. They slow their pace and listen, tense and unsure whether someone is approaching or simply watching from the darkness.
And again, did you hear that, Joe?
Yeah, I did hear that, yeah.
That is footsteps we can hear now.
I can't hear no talking, but I can definitely hear footsteps.
And again.
Yeah.
Shit, we're really crapping our pants, guys. We really are crapping our pants. Guys, we're getting really worried now, guys. It does not feel right. There is someone following us. I swear, there is someone following us.
Yeah.
And we're... No, what was that?
What was that?
Joe, what was that?
Did you hear it? Did you hear that?
I just heard something, guys. Guys, we're so nervous right now. There's really something going on. And there, Joe, I don't...
Yeah, something going on.
I
Apart
really-
from all the bats flying around, there's definitely something coming up there.
This just doesn't feel right. It does not feel right. What was that, Joe? What? That is footsteps. That is footsteps, I'm telling you now, Joe.
The footsteps persist, remaining close enough to track, but far enough to avoid being seen. The team remark that the sounds feel intentional, almost as if whatever is there is matching their pace.
Is that a stick moving?
Yeah, that stick just there, look.
No. What?
Whoa.
Guys, what is...
You sure about this?
What is that?
No.
Guys? No.
No,
What's
no,
happening?
nothing
No,
there for that.
no, I ain't having that. I can't do that shit. Oh, this is so muddy. I ain't fucking doing that. Joe, that's so scary. Oh, stop. No, we've got to stop.
No.
Stop. We've got to stop, Joe.
No, we've done it again, haven't we?
We've got to go back and look, guys.
Yeah, come on. Let's go and have a look. Keep running away.
I don't want to, Joe.
No, but we've got to. We can't keep doing this.
Come on, let's go back.
Go and have a look.
Let's go and have a look. That is so scary.
One of them spots a stick shifting on the ground beside the path. The movement is small but unmistakable. With no animals or wind visible, they question whether someone, or something, made contact with it.
I think that is, you know.
Why is it sticking out the ground?
What? It was going on the floor when we left.
Why is that sticking out the ground?
That's crazy.
Guys, I don't even want to go and touch it.
It definitely looks like it.
That is it. Why is it? There was no...
Yeah, we'll have to check the video to see if it's the same shape, but I'm pretty sure that is.
We'll check the footage when we get home, guys, and we're going to check out and see if that's the same stick. But I'm sure there was nothing sticking out the ground there.
No.
I'm sure there was nothing sticking out the ground.
I I'm sure that was rolling along the floor.
Give it a pull, Joe, see if it comes out the ground.
No, that is just the end of a stick. Because I'm sure it was going like that.
Returning later, the stick appears partially wedged upright in the soil. The change is subtle, but intentional looking, raising questions about whether someone passed by after them, or whether the movement has an unexplained cause. The night ends without answers. The footsteps, shifting stick, and persistent feeling of being followed remain unexplained. The Bell explorers leave the woods unsettled, noting how a location that appears calm during the day can feel completely different at night. Their real-time reactions reflect their uncertainty, letting viewers decide whether the activity was human, environmental, or something beyond explanation. The next shocking video of the night comes from KJ's Haunted Videos, a UK-based solo paranormal exploration channel. KJ ventures into haunted forests and abandoned places, filming in real time and reacting honestly to whatever unfolds. It is November 30th, 2025, in the Devil's Forest, United Kingdom.
Yeah, I'm hearing footsteps. Problem is as well. Yeah, man, I'm in a bright green coat, so they can see me from a mile away. Should have wore green. Not kidding you. Yeah, that window's over there now. That's weird. Now, I'm not going to spend miles too long in this forest. I believe that that part's more scary, so we're going to make our way over to that part. I'm not going to go down here today. Yeah, if you want to see the other shelter, yeah, go check that out. I'm going to go down. I do think there's a way down here. I'm not entirely sure though. Wind's just picked up. Yeah, that's weird. Now, one thing I've got to be careful of as well, if it is getting windy, these trees, I mean, look at how much have fallen. That actually scares me to even think about it. The fact that maybe how much trees have fallen. Look, this tree, the reason why this is destroyed is that tree fell. Any tree could fall. If a tree lands on me, I'm dead. Seems to be some sort of plane coming. Now, we are here early in the morning. It's early in the morning. Vlog here on the YouTube channel. Make sure no one's behind me. Now, we're filming Hunted actually really soon, to the point where it'll be extremely close to Hunted when we're filming it. Yeah, we're filming it probably December in this forest, and obviously not all of it's going to be in this forest. There'll be shots where it'll be outside of the forest, places you
KJ walks along a muddy forest trail, noting how much the area has changed since his last visit. The vegetation is thicker, branches hang low, and the path feels unfamiliar. Early movement in the brush catches his attention, though nothing is seen. With his torch sweeping left and right, he pushes deeper into the trees. The forest is unusually quiet. No distant voices, no wildlife, just wind filtering through branches, creating an eerie stillness.
you've not seen on YouTube. You want to see, yeah, so go check out some of the films I've made. Highly appreciate it. But now we're going into the dark forest. It looks, we didn't even see this way last time. I can almost feel like I can hear something going on back there, but I don't really know. Just trying to see if there's anything I can see that might be resembling anything. Nah, but I don't.
From somewhere ahead, KJ hears the clear sound of a dog collar jingling. The location is remote, and there is no sign of a dog or anyone walking it. He pauses, visibly unsettled.
Permanently don't. Yeah. Now, one thing you got to be careful about these forests is what you're doing. Don't be too loud. Yeah, Hunter, it's going to be difficult. Because we're not getting permission to film here. We're not getting permission to film in this forest, so... yeah, so whatever happens, we got to film it. But luckily, not all of it's in this forest. But here's the part where...
Footsteps begin circling him, shifting positions with each pause. Knocking sounds echo from the tree line. His voice lowers as he tells the viewers he knows someone, or something, is moving around him.
Definitely be filming quite a lot of Hunter out. Not necessarily all in that part, there will be some parts in that part, but this part here, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm not going to make it crazy long. Just sort of want to get some answers, really. Who was mumbling? Who was out here? So you can see a tent. That tent was here last time. It doesn't seem like anyone's actually around, to be honest with you. Just trying to see if there's any new things in this forest that might be, that might not have been here last time.
A human cough emerges from the darkness. KJ directs the torch toward the sound, but the beam reveals nothing. The silence that follows feels heavy and oppressive.
Might go back there. Yeah, so this is again like a really cool forest. A lot of people would say it's pretty fun. Oh, hold up. There is something new. Like, there is something new here. Like, big time. Big time, there's something. Yeah, there's another thing as well. Yeah. Look at this.
He finds remnants of activity. Chairs, old cans, collapsed structures, and rotting pumpkins, suggesting someone had been using the area recently. The discovery elevates the anxiety as footsteps continue within the trees.
It does feel like someone's creeping up behind me, dude. Wait. Don't tell me this is a pine cone tree. Holy shit. Yeah, this is not safe to be in, guys. Especially when it's windy. You don't know who the f could be out here. Yep, this is, I don't know what this is supposed to be. Don't want to destroy anything because you don't know who's out here. Don't know what this is supposed to be though. Yeah. Not entirely sure, it's just a stack of trees. Maybe it was a den or something.
The footsteps grow louder and more intentional. KJ decides to retreat, walking back toward the trail, while the movement tracks him parallel through the forest.
Yeah, it just collapsed. That's probably what it is, and I can see, yo, what the hell? It's not Halloween just yet. It's pumpkins. Alright, something must have been going on Halloween. Because there's a whole set of pumpkins out here. I'm hearing noises. Okay, I feel really unsafe in this forest. It's another reason why I don't want to be here too long. It's not going to be as long probably as the last... It will not be as long as the last video. That was too long of a video.
Only when reaching the lower path near the forest's edge do the footsteps finally fade. He stops, breathing heavily, scanning the woods before continuing his exit. Shaken, KJ leaves the area entirely. The strange footsteps, coughing, shifting noises, and signs of recent human presence leave no clear explanation for what or who was in the woods with him. The encounter ends unresolved, with KJ admitting the experience was far more intense than expected, leaving viewers questioning what was really moving through the Devil's Forest that night. The next video comes from Studio 13, a US-based paranormal and horror exploration channel, specializing in cemetery investigations, ghost hunting challenges, and historical narration. The content focuses on real-time reactions, first-time paranormal experiences, and device-based validation, such as K2 meters, audio captures, and energy spikes. It is November 26, 2025, in Mount Hope Cemetery, Florence, South Carolina, USA.
Please, can you light it to yellow? Let's walk a little bit further in. So Kobe, if you don't mind me asking, what are your thoughts on doing ghost hunting for the first time?
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
First time being in a cemetery at night.
Okay. Alrighty. We're still not getting any thing on the meter. Let's try maybe aiming a little over here towards the cemetery. Okay. If Florina Budwin is here, can you please touch my meter? All you have to do is touch it. In fact, I will even go as far as setting it on the ground. That was just it touching the ground. All right. Kobe, would you like to try asking it a question?
No, not right now.
Nervous?
No.
Okay. Alrighty. If there's any spirit at all with us right now, please tap on the meter. It will either light up once or twice. Just tap it to let us know you're here. That's all we ask. Let me see what happens when I kind of pan around this this kind of monument right here.
The host and Kobe begin walking deeper into Mount Hope Cemetery at night. The air is still, the lighting is minimal, and only distant road noise occasionally breaks the quiet. The host explains how to engage spirits respectfully and encourages Kobe, who has never ghost hunted before, to ask questions using the K2 meter.
Stay, please, stay. Okay, I am not touching the meter now. If there's
The K2 meter suddenly flashes, seemingly reacting to a question directed toward Florina. Neither of them is touching the device, and no electronics are nearby.
I know it's not any wild. Oh. Yeah, that's not from either of us, because
A second spike appears, unexpected and clear. Kobe reacts with disbelief, while the host verifies that nothing external is influencing it.
a spirit of any kind, please light the meter up again. Kobe, while I'm watching the camera, what was your opinion on what you just saw? The fact that I'm not even moving right now and it just lit up and
As another question is asked, the meter lights again. Kobe watches closely, visibly unsettled, while the host continues speaking calmly, trying to validate the activity.
You saw another one move?
Yes.
Kobe sees what appears to be movement beside the meter, causing him to flinch. The device flickers again, giving the impression of something directly responding to their presence. The experience ends quietly, without a visible apparition, but multiple unexplained K2 reactions occur independently of human contact or electrical interference. Kobe leaves the cemetery noticeably shaken, having experienced his first direct paranormal response. The host concludes by acknowledging the subtle but compelling signs linked to Florina Budwin, reminding viewers that cemeteries often hold more presence than memory, and that some parts of history continue to respond when questioned. Before the next clip, if you're enjoying the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and right now, 80% of viewers aren't subscribed. So if you're one of them, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really means a lot. Your support helps us continue creating awesome, creepy videos. Now, let's get back to the video. The last video of the night comes from Theme Park Neutral, a documentary-style channel focused on exploring quiet backroads, forgotten walkways, and folklore-linked zones around Disney properties, rather than the parks themselves. The creator approaches locations analytically, treating them more like historical sites than entertainment venues. It is November 22nd, 2025, at Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground, Florida, USA.
Did that come on? Did you hear that? Tonight, I am camping at Walt Disney World. But I'm not here for the theme parks. I'm here for the wilderness. This is Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort and Campground. It is a vast 750-acre property that sits just in the shadow of Magic Kingdom. Out here, the pristine fantasy of the parks gives way to something older, darker, thick forests, isolated trails, and a history that is all its own. And like any good piece of wilderness, it has its stories. For decades, guests and even staff have reported experiences that they cannot explain. They've talked about the Phantom Rider galloping through the woods at night. They report hearing footsteps and laughter on completely empty trails. And there's even talk of a floating white figure that is seen wandering the cabin loops. A guest who, according to legend, never left. Tonight, I'm going to walk those isolated trails. I'm going to visit the stable that the rider is supposedly seen. And I'm going to take a stroll through the cabin loop to see if that spirit still roams. We're here to listen to the woods and be part of the atmosphere. And to see once and for all if some of these stories are true or if it's just simply the dark. All right, it's almost time. Let's get started. Disney's Fort Wilderness opened in 1971. A mystical place designed to be an escape from the glitz of the park. But from its beginning, it's been defined by its environment. The shores of Bay Lake itself.
The investigator arrives after dark, explaining that he isn't heading toward the lit areas of the resort, only the quiet, unpopulated sections that most guests never see. He begins along the far end of the beach, running EMF scans and checking his spirit box, but nothing reacts. The shoreline is silent and calm, almost unnaturally so. When he moves toward the ranch area, the overall mood shifts. The ranch is closed, fenced, and visibly inactive, yet he can hear movement inside the horse stables. The walkways around him remain empty. The contrast between total stillness and the distinct sound of something moving behind locked structures raises his suspicion that he might already be walking into an area with energy still tied to it. With the beach inactive, he decides to drive toward Cabin Loop 2400, the location connected to past reports of the Lady in White.
As soon as I stopped. They're not on timers, and I have to physically turn them off. And as soon as I stopped, and even if they were on timers, I started them different times. I didn't press the buttons in sync with one another, but they both went off at the exact same time. So that's weird.
As he parks near Loop 2400, both sets of his battery-powered Christmas lights shut off at the exact same moment. He points out that the lights run on separate sources and have no timers, making the simultaneous failure difficult to explain.
Did that come on? Did you hear that? That sound.
While scanning the cabins, the spirit box powers on by itself. He reacts immediately, startled by the sudden burst of sound in a place that has been otherwise silent.
Something that called. Oh.
Seconds later, a faint voice emits through the speaker. Thin, distant and low-toned. He turns toward the tree line because the sound feels spatial rather than electronic, as if it came from behind him rather than from the device.
And I don't know if you saw them before I was driving, but blinking Christmas lights on my battery operated, and they all just shut off as soon as I stopped. They're not on timers, they're not, I have to physically turn them off. And as soon as I stopped, and even if they were on timers, I started them different times. I didn't like press the buttons in sync with one another, but they both went off at the exact same.
Earlier at the ranch, he recorded an unclear noise that didn't resemble wildlife or traffic. Now, hearing this new voice, he realizes the audio quality is similar. Without equipment to compare the files, he decides to return to his tent to review them later. The night ends with limited physical activity, but the anomalies at loop 2400 stand apart. Simultaneous power loss, the spirit box activating without input, and a faint voice that doesn't align with ambient sound. He admits that if he had seen the lady in white tonight, he might never return to that loop again. The footage leaves the encounter unresolved, either equipment malfunctioning in coincidence, or something tied specifically to cabin loop 2400, making itself known only briefly, and only when he was alone in the dark edges of Fort Wilderness. We appreciate you for watching. If these creepy encounters gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. There's always another mystery waiting just around the corner.